what I'll be doing, so whenever you want to create a cube, so always the basic thing is that uh, we'll be creating a cube by using SSAS SQL Server Analysis Services. Okay, you always create a cube in this by using SQL Server Analysis. Okay, so this is my project SQL Server October, where I have my SSIS and SSRS in this. You can see, yeah, I got two projects, SSIS and SSRS. Now to the same thing, I'll add one more project with the SSIS. Okay, same thing. So now I got two projects under one solution. Remember, you will not be seeing solution if you have only one project in the solution. You will not be seeing that solution name. Since I am having two projects, then only I am able to see my solution name. Okay, if you have one project, you will not be able to see the solution. Now to the same solution, I want to add one more product with the SSAS. So how to add is that just I'll select the solution, file. In this you will directly have add new project. That's it. When you click the new project, now you will get I want the analysis services. So in the analysis services, I want the analysis services. So one more thing you need to remember is that in the SQL Server analysis services, okay, there are two types. They have categorized the analysis services in two types. One is a multidimensional, and there is a this one, analysis services tabular model. This concept was new to 2012. It is new to 2012 and later versions, but not prior to 2012 version. Remember, we are going to see this tabular project tomorrow. Okay, so analysis services and multidimensional and tabular project. So multidimensional is nothing but the cube. Tabular project is nothing but a different kind. Okay, so what I am going to do is that click the multidimensional, click OK. Okay, click the multidimensional, click OK. When you click OK, now I got, oh sorry, I renamed the project and I didn't name the project. Okay, so I'll just delete this, remove. Yeah, yes, I want to name the project accordingly. I'll select it again, go to the file, add new project. So it's analysis services. I'll name the project name as SSAS. Done. Okay, now I have developed the project. I got the SSAS, SSIS and SSRS. So inside SSAS, when I expand, I got multiple couple of things here. Nothing is there. Every folder is blank. Okay, I have different folders. I have all the folders as blank. In this all the folders, the important things that you will be working is that data sources, data views, cubes, dimensions and roles. These are the 5 concepts that most of the time you'll be working on this. Okay, in the when I explain you the reports, SSRS, right? In the SSRS, first you will create connection for the source, that is nothing but the data source. The same thing here also. After the data source, you will create some queries to pull the data. That is nothing but the data set in the SSRS reports. See, I'll expand this. I'll click on my report. Now I can see something here. Data sets and data source. Data set is a connection to the database. Data set is a query that you have written. Okay. So now I'm closing this. In the same way, in the SSAS also, data source means you want to build a cube. Okay, so once we see how to build a general cube, then you will be clear. Okay, until then please you can just ignore them. Okay, you will be a little bit confused, but once you see that cube, then you will be able to get it everything. Okay, so now data source is nothing but, in order to build a cube you need data. Okay, from where you will be getting the data? You will be getting the data from some database. So for that database you need to establish a connection. So that connection is nothing but the data sources. After that, from the data source, you established a connection, but from that connection you need to pull some data. In order to pull the data, you can get the data from multiple tables. So here you will be selecting the tables. After that you will build the cubes. After that you will build the dimensions on the cube. But generally it is in the order, but normally what we do is that create a data source, create a view, then create a dimension, then create a cubes. Okay, we'll create a dimension first, and then we'll go to the cube. So the first step is data source, second step is views, third step is the dimension, fourth step is the cubes. Okay, so first, in order to go that, first I'll show you. Just I'll create a sample. So what I want, I'll create on this new data source. Where do I get a data source? The data source I will be using as a AdventureWorks data warehouse. I am opening this. Next, I'll create a new. It's on the dot, local server, right? Dot AdventureWorks data warehouse. Data warehouse means it will have the facts and dimension tables. Okay. Then I got it and I'll click next. Okay. So always what I need to do is that generally, whenever you connect to the database, right? Basically, see, when I click next, I'm coming back. Okay, we'll go step by step. Now it asks next. Next I'll go. Since I have already created the connection for AdventureWorks, I have created next. Now normally, in order to connect a data warehouse, okay, cubes means you need to have admin access for deploying the cubes. With the simple access, you can't deploy the cube there. Okay. Whenever you want to deploy the cube, at the back end, what the cube does is that it pulls the data. Okay. See, if I deploy the cube, means if I run the cube, what happens? Whatever the dimensions and measures we have created, in order to do that, it needs to pull the data from the database. So in order to pull the database, it needs some permission to access the database. So generally, if you schedule it somewhere, normally what we do, we create some service account and we'll give for this to do that. Okay. Currently, what I'll do, I can do it in two ways. If I have a complete access, I'll just use user credentials of the current user. Okay, I'm giving user credentials of the current user, and I'll name the data source as AdventureWorks 2008 R2. Finish. Now a data source is created. Okay, now I need to get the data from some fact tables. I'll show you what is meant by cube. Once we create it, then you can see the basic use of the cube. Data source view. Click on this. When I click is, data source is nothing but from where you want to get the data. Okay, you may get data from the tables or you may write your own queries. Next, click next. When I click next in the AdventureWorks, I am having this many tables in the I am maximizing this. I am having this many tables in the AdventureWorks. Okay, so normally we'll be anyway we need the fact table and dimension table, right? So I can select any fact table. So I'll be selecting one fact table called internet sales. Fact internet sales, and I'll click next. So I'll be getting that. So whatever the tables are related to the fact table, if I want to get them, I don't know, here there are a couple of many tables, right? I don't know which table to get. So just select this, click add related fields. Automatically, whatever the tables are joined with this fact table, I'll go and show you. Fact internet sales, right? I'll just click on this database, AdventureWorks 2012 fact internet sales. Fact internet sales. When I expand this keys, see, there are many foreign key relationships at the bottom. See, okay, FK underscore. There are all the foreign key relationships. So this many table, it is related with this many tables. See, dim date, dim customer, dim currency, dim product, dim promotion, dim sales territory. Okay, but you can see one fact table because that internet sales reason is in turn connected with the fact internet sales. So this is the reason I am getting all the tables which are related to the fact internet sales. Now I'll click next. Okay. So now I'll name it as a view. That's it. Finish. When I do this, whatever the tables are there, I'll get, and I do even get the relationship between the tables. See. Okay. I got many relationship between the tables here. Okay. And this all is nothing but here in this scenario they will be calling it as a data source views. That's it. Okay. If data source views is nothing but it is a combination of multiple tables that you have here. You can also get your own calculated query here. I can add my own calculated query. Okay. I can add my, so let's say there is no dim sales territory. Just delete this. Okay. So yeah. Dim sales territory. Where is that? Yeah, I'll just delete the table. Select it. You see one more thing. When I click here, I'll not, you see, I can do this way. Delete from DSV, or else at the left side you got all the tables. When I expand this, you got all the columns. Okay. The same way, I'll go with the dim date sales. I click on this. At the top, you got here. Say delete. Delete it. Both are same. Now that view is deleted. So if you don't have like this, I can manually do that. It's a dim sales data, right? I'll go here, top 1000 rows. Now manually I'll add this query as a calculated query. Okay, let's say I don't have any table for this. I need to get some result based on the query itself. So I'll just copy it now. What I'll be doing, I'll right click here, new named query. That's it. When I click the new named query, now I'll get a window. I can paste it here. First I'll write it as sales, dim sales data, right? Data. Okay, that's it. Now here I'll just copy, I'll just remove this, paste that query. Done. I'm good. Okay. Automatically mines is created, but there is no relationship between. You can see the symbol here. Others are having this symbol and this is having this symbol. See. Okay, in this sales data is a primary key. Just click on this and set logical primary key. That's it. Now what I want from this table, from the fact table, I need to join the sales data key with the sales data key. That's it. Now when I click the relationship, now you can see sales data key with the sales data key. Okay, see source foreign key table and primary table. That's it. This is a way how you can, and if you want to add a new calculated column, you can click on the table and you can add. So I want to add something called, I'll just add one table, one column. Okay, calculated column. Already let's say you got this many columns, but you want something column in different way. Right click on this. Okay, oh, it is a named query, right? Yeah, I'll just right click. Oh. Yeah, new named calculation. When I click that, I'll get whatever thing I want. I can do. I can even add a couple of columns here. Okay, here I am having discount percent, right? So I'll just give discount percent, DISC, PCT. Okay, and here I'll give the same columns. Whatever column I got, I'll give the column discount percent. Okay, automatically a new column will have, that column will have the data here. If you want to see the data in the table, just right click here. Here you got export data. When I click the export data, whatever the data I got in the table, I can get it here. Okay, so this is a kind of thing. So this is a view. So after getting the view, okay, so there are two types of things you need to worry. Dimensions. What is meant by dimensions? So basically dimensions is nothing but on what scenario are you going to calculate the data? On what scenarios are you going to calculate the data? Let's say my manager needs total sales for that year. So the year is called the dimension. Total sales is nothing but the measure. Remember, year is called the dimension. Total sales is nothing but the measure. And he wants to see what is the total sales for this region. Okay, or total transactions for this region. So the total transaction is nothing but the measure, and region is nothing but the dimension. So for which thing you want to calculate and what you want to calculate. So for which thing you want to calculate, that is nothing but the dimension, and what you want to calculate, that is nothing but the measure. Because I want to calculate sum of amount. The amount is nothing but the measure. Okay, and I want to calculate the region. So it is nothing but the region. So now you can see all the tables are related. If I want to see total sales for this currency, then I can join the currency table. Okay, if I want to get the total sales for this state or region for this country, then I can have this country here. If I want the total sales for this fact internet sales, see, it is nothing but, if you want to relate it to any other table, then you can do it here. Currently, I think I don't need this table here. I'll just delete it. Okay, see, if I want to see the total sales for particular customer, then I can join with the customer table. If I want to see total sales for the product, then I can join with the table. Okay, so like this, what are the dimensions I have, and what do I want? If I want to see anything, see, whichever is the key that is used to join other tables. Okay, if I want to see the discount amount, I can see. If I want to see the unit price discount amount, I can see. If I want to see the unit price, I can see. If I want to see the order quantity, then these are all nothing but the measures. Okay, so now I want to, we'll go with one dimension. Okay, We'll go and see one dimension, that is nothing but the country. We'll see the total sales for country, total sales for region. That is the thing we'll see. Now right click on the dimension and add new dimension. When I click this, click next. So it is asking use existing table, just because already we got the tables, right? So you can use, if you want, you can generate your own different tables also, but I'll be saying that use an existing table. Click next. Now when I click the existing table, it will ask me specify source information, and here you can see it is asking me, okay, so which table is the main table? Fact internet sales. A name column must be specified when a composite key is used, if not already present, if the recommended. So I want to add one key, whichever the key is there, I want to add it here. Data source view. A name column must be specified when a composite key is used, if not already present. It is recommended to create a named calculation in the data source view that concatenates specific key columns. So for the fact internet sales we are using, oh sorry, we are using the dimensions, right? Why do I need to use this one? Specify source of information. So my source of information will be I will be using from the sales statutory, dim sales statutory. That's it, done. Now here sales key, here we'll have the key as, yeah, already we got the sales data key is a primary key, right? We got it. That is the primary key we have on the table. That's it. Click next. When I click next, now it is asking the sales data key. Okay, done. Don't worry, here you will be having multiple attributes. You can have the attributes for the data also. Sometimes you will be using year, month, so you can select it here. So regular means whatever the type you want, you will be keeping. Then click next. After this, now I got the dim sales data. Okay, so I'll go back. What I want is that I'll have the sales, even I want to have the region, country and group. I want this all the columns. Okay, I want the because I want to calculate based on the region, I want to calculate based on the country, I also want to calculate the total sales based on the group. So whichever thing I want to calculate, I'll be selecting here. Click next. Click next. Finish. That's it. Automatically my dim sales is created. Okay, so normally generally when you do the facts and dimension table, you never use that name. Usually I got your dim sales, but I'll not use that name as a thing. Okay, so you can go to the properties here. Okay, so generally what we do is that we normally we never it's our standard, we never use the same thing as a name, we never use a dim. So I'll just, because we are doing on the data, right, so I'll make it as a dimension as statutory. We'll use a normal naming convention. Okay, see now when I select this, you got two names. This is the original name, this is the original name that is it, but since you renamed it, it was changed to dim data. That's it. Okay, so I got my dimensions. After this, I'll go to the cubes, right click and new cube. Click next. Here use existing table. Next. Here what is, from where do I have the measures? Measures means the calculated field. Always the calculated measures means sales, discount amount, that all will be there in the fact table only. Okay, just so I'll select the fact table. Click next. After that, this fact table has this many measures. So by default it is saying, see, even though my fact table, fact internet sales, it has many columns. It has many columns, right? It has ship date, it has customer key, it has promotion key. No, it is not showing any one of the column. It is only showing this all the columns. Whichever can be calculated, only that columns it is showing. See here. Okay. See revision number, order quantity, unit price. So whatever the things are not assigned to other tables, only that, see, only that columns are being shown in the this one to select. Okay, even you can see something like carrier tracking number and customer PO number, that is also not being shown here because it is a NVRCAT type. You can see it is NVRCAT. So it will directly, by default, it will see the integer types and it will also see the money type or decimal types, and it will assume that okay, that is a measure. See, if you have something like varchar name, You are not going to calculate on the name basis, right? You are going to calculate some amount, that is a measure. So by default it will show here. So always you can see the measure. Okay, by here you can by default you can see the measure type here. See, okay, by default you can see the symbol. That is the measures. Next, I click next. Okay, so dimensions which I already created as a theta, right? Theta dimension. That's next. After that, you will have other dimensions. I don't want any other dimension. I'll just ignore them because there are other dimensions which we didn't connect it, right? When we join the fact table, there are many tables related. Promotion, we got one more table. We got dim date. We got customer. We didn't relate any of them, so I didn't relate them. Just click next. I'm ignoring them. Next. If you want, you can ignore whatever you want. Okay, if you want, you can do. So I'll name it as sales cube. Okay, I got it here. Finish. Now I got a cube. Okay, that cube is related to the dim sales. So you are good. You got the one dimension which will have the all the. See, I can also name the dimensions here. I'll name it here also territory. So now I got the dimension, but what is my basic scenario is that, see, I want to see the data this way. What is my fact internet sales? This is my fact internet sales, right? Select star from internet sales and name it as internet sales. Inner join is inner join. So whatever table I got, I'll just copy this table. Adventure works will be shown for this also. Control V and on. So this I am naming it as sales territory. Internet sales dot correct syntax. Yeah, since I am using this, it is a system defined, so it is not allowing me. So I can write a sales territory. Just I'll write a S. It will accept me. So S dot. So it is a dim sales territory, right? So there will be something called dim sales key or something. Yeah, sales territory key equal to st dot sales territory key. Done. So what I want is that I want total sales for group st dot country, comma, sum of s dot total discount. So what is the column I'm having here? I want to see unit price, or I want to see total order quantity. Just drop the order quantity. And this is the country name. Control C. So this is what I do. When I do the sum, I'll get the country name, I'll get the total amount. See, for total sales order quantity for each company. I got it here, right? So if I want something like not sales, I want the total sales for each region or each group. Then again I need to add one more group, and then I need to again do aggregate one. See now how much time it took for me to do this calculation, right? So now we develop the cube. The same thing we are going to do it by the cube. Okay, but as I said, cube will have the pre-calculated values. But now I have created the cube, I have created the design, but still it doesn't have any calculated values now. In order to have the calculated values, it needs some space to store them. It needs some space to store the calculated values. So what I'll be doing is that now I need to deploy this cube to somewhere so that it can be it can store this all the calculated values. Yeah, I'm getting some like, okay. Kunal? Hello? Yeah, I think it might be Kunal or someone. Hello. So I think they might have playing with their kids. So what I'm going to do here is that, so as I said, cube will have the pre-calculated values. So in order to store the pre-calculated values in some place, you need to deploy this cube to some location. So where to deploy means, now in the same SQL server, okay, this is our SQL server. Now I'll just do is, so when I click the connect, now you'll got the database engine. Now I'll select the analysis services. And here, since my server is on the local machine, just I'll give the buttons, connect it. Now I'll be getting my analysis services here. See, by default, this is a different server as a database engine. Currently, this, don't worry about this. It is a previous one which I have created. Okay. Now I need to deploy my cube to in order to store that calculated value. So what I do is that just click on this. Click on the SSAS project. Go to the properties. Here I'll be selecting the deployment. And I need to give the server name. By default is the localhost because it's a dot. I can give dot, I can give the server name. And the name I am naming it as a SSAS. See here. Click OK. Done. Now what I'll do, I'll deploy it. See, currently I don't have any SSAS on this. I don't have any SSAS cube here. Okay. So now in order to deploy, right click here. Just you can do deploy. When I do the deploy here, see, deployment failed. Deployment failed. What is the issue? Why the deployment got failed? Okay. Yeah. No, let them tell. I think they might be tired. Yeah. Or else I think they might have left the phone and they might have went. So their roommates might be sleeping. Right? Yeah. Yeah, because Kondal, Vinay, even Manas, they all text me. Yeah. So it's okay. So it's showing my error. Okay. Actually, I'm unable to see it's I need to expand this. Okay. So basically, I will click here. I got the error here. See when I click here, what it's showing? The AdventureWorks R2 contains an impersonate, it's not supported here. When I expand this, okay, I think it's again. So I'll just close this. This one, I'll do this. So see here, storage engine. It is unable to see storage engine. An error occur while sales. There's some error at the top. We'll see the top error. See. Advanced contains an impersonate mode that is not supported for processing operations. What is meant by that? We'll click my cube, go to the data source, right click and do the properties. Okay, sorry. Solution Explorer, I'll just double click it. When I double click, now go to the impersonate information. Here, since I said the use credentials of the current user, right, that is not sufficient. So that's the reason I need to give here my username and password, or whichever I got access to that, because as I said during the deployment it will not allow directly our system user thing. Okay, so I always have some issue with this one. So I'll just select this, my username, Control C. I'll click here. I'll give my username here. I'll also give my password. Done. Okay. Since I have given my password and thing, so I'll create on the project and deploy. Automatically my project will be deployed. See, now I am not getting any errors. See, deploying in the progress. Deploying and progress. Previously it was not there, but now I see it showing. Attribute, sales, territory, country, group, territory, key, sales, territory, region. Everything is in progress. So now it has been completed. When I extend, it will show how many records has been created for each and everything. Yeah, actually when we deploy that, I think it will show. Yeah. So now my cube has been deployed to that solution. Now I'll open my management studio. I'll refresh this one, refresh the cube. Now when I open, now I can see my cube here, see SSAS. Now when I open my cube, you got the data same format. Whatever the format you got, you'll be getting the same thing here. My data source views. At the same time, I got the cube, I got the dimensions also. See here. Cubes. I got the sales cube. I do even have the measures here. When I click this, I got different measures. Okay? Okay? So when I click here, yeah, what happened to the measures? Oh, sorry. Yeah. So I'll just click on the cube. Whatever the cube here, I'll just click on the browse. Okay? When I click browse, now you can see the measures. Okay? Actually here you can't see, just it will hide them. When I click browse, see the window which it opened, right? It is in a different format. It is not like our normal SQL query structure. See, it is of different structure. The window is entirely different. You can see different, like you can see the measures. Whichever the measures I have created, you can see the dimensions, territory wise. Okay? So what I want, I want the total sales for the company. So I'll just click the company. I'll just drag and drop here. When I drag and drop, automatically it will get the company. But I didn't use any dimension measures, right? So now I need to use a measure. I'll be using the measures as total order quantity, right? Drag and drop the order quantity. See, by default, when I did this and try to map this one and this one, I'll be keeping this one side by side and see whether it's matching or not. This is the query which we have written to agree to see the total sales for the country level, right? Hello? Are you able to get my point? See. Okay. See, I manually written. I got the query. Same results when calculated by this cube. Did I have written anything on this? No. Right? By default I got. So that's the power of this cube. Automatically this aggregation is stored in the cube by default. When you drag and drop it, by default it will get that. If you want to see the query, which query I have written, click on this. I'll just expand this. See, when I click, I can see the query. I think this will be in a different way, so it will be a little bit complex. So I can write my own query also. The same concept I'll be getting by using my query. So how I do, click on this. When you click browse, you'll be getting this window. But I'll just select the cube and new query. Automatically a window will open. So what I'll do, basically in the cube, whenever you want to pull the data from the cube, you will not be using T-SQL. Okay? You will never use the T-SQL in the cubes. In the cubes, like in order to get the data from the database, you will use T-SQL, right? But in order to get the data from the cube, you will always choose the MDX. MDX structure will be, I'll just give the basic MDX, okay? Select. And you'll give the column names, whatever thing you want. On columns. Okay, comma. On rows. From. That's it. Columns is nothing but always MDX are two-dimensional. I said, right? What are the things I want? Basically on the columns you will have the measures. On the rows you will have the dimensions. So I'll just, from where do I want to get it from this cube. So I'll just drag the sales cube and drop it here. That's it. After this, what is the measure I want to get? Order quantity is a measure. Just take it and keep it on the columns. See. Next, I want to get the territory based on the country level. See, when I drop this line, see one more thing. When I directly drop this territory, country here, and execute this, you'll be getting as all. You'll be getting as all. Instead of showing different countries, it will be getting all. So in order to get that, what you do is that you need to expand this, and this one you need to drag and drop it here. Okay, Control Z. So the inside one, whichever is the inside, right, that one you need to drag and drop. That's it. I'll got it here. See. Oh. See, I got it. Okay. So this is the way you write using the query. See, if I want to get the data from only particular command. See, now you see. Territory is a measure. So a dimension. Under the dimension, it is connecting to sales territory country. Dot. Right? You can see it here. Dot. Under sales territory, it is again getting the sales territory country. So you got it here. Okay. Under this sales territory also, if you want to get particular country also, you can get it. Dot. Okay. I'll just drag the country and keep it here. Australia. I'll write it Australia. See, I got the data for Australia only. Can you see this? This is like the MDX query. So I'll just give the sample one. Okay, this is where how you will write the MDX. Sometimes if you don't know anything about the MDX, don't worry. Just go here. Okay, whatever you want, you can drop it here. I want the order quantity. I want also freight. Okay, I also want the revision number. Sorry, revision number is different, right? I also want the sales amount. That's it. I'll get the data here. If I want to see what query did I used here, just click on the design mode. Now you'll be getting that query here. Okay, that's it. The same thing if I want to get this all the things, order quantity, freight amount, sales amount. Okay, just click on this. I can drop it here. One more thing is that whenever you have this kind of things, I want to get the one more dimensions, right? I want to include this order quantity, sales. I'll include the sales amount. Okay, execute it. Okay, yeah. Okay, it's a tuple. So basically we should use the sets here. There's a concept called sets and tuple. Okay, these are the tuples. See, I got it. So these are the sets. So I got the data here. Okay, tuples is nothing but these two tuples. Okay, tuples is a formation. If you have multiple sets, based on the sets, you'll have the tuples. I'm not going to confuse you all much about the MDX. Just I'll give it the higher level description. Okay, this is the way how you are going to cover. But for the rows, I also want to have the Australia and I also want to have the regions in that Australia. Click on this, select the regions. That's it. Comma separated by region, territory and region. That's it. Select this region and keep it here. That's it, done. Separated by comma. That's it. Now when I execute this particular Australia, I'll get all the regions. Because in the Australia, I got only one region. So that's the reason it's showing only that region. Okay. Yeah. So this is if I don't have the Australia, I'll just remove the Australia from this. That's it. Yeah. See, United Kingdom. United Kingdom also has only one region, but United States has many regions here. See, Central, Northeast. You can see one country, but having multiple regions here. United Kingdom has only one thing, Germany. Whichever is not applicable means there may be some null values, so that all goes into the not applicable. Okay. So now if I want to add the data also, currently I have created dimensions for only this. So this is the thing I want now. I got it here. So I am stopping this video and I'll continue from the next one.